Welcome back to another fantastic video. Today I have a car that's actually pretty rare, very fast, and very cool, and super spunky, but also it's a Mercedes Benz. So today I've got a 2016 Mercedes Benz GLA 45 AMG. That happens to be a mouthful, but this car packs quite the performance punch. So let's take a walk through on this car, and I'm going to show you why this thing is the ultimate pocket rocket. So let's talk GLA, right? So this is what Mercedes-Benz calls their kind of mini crossover glorified hatchback vehicle, okay? As you can see, it does pretty much look like a raised hatchback. However, this one's not just any GLA. This is the GLA 45 AMG. So what does that mean? Of course, AMG got a hold of it. It has a hand-built 2-liter four-banger, has 375 horsepower and 350 foot-pounds of torque, transmitted through a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission to all four wheels. This thing can hit 60 miles an hour in almost 4 seconds flat. Four seconds flat in a hatchback. That's ridiculous. But Mercedes, they went balls to the wall. They were like, you know what? Let's create a ridiculous hatchback. Okay, let's throw in a huge turbocharged 4-cylinder. Guys, this car has the most potent production 4-cylinder in the world, and it's one of the last hand-built Mercedes-Benz AMG engines. Okay, hand-built. Okay, this car is amazing, and I am so glad that I actually get to have this car. So thank you to Carriage Kia of Woodstock, Georgia. This car was actually recently traded in. I am friends with the owner, so I know the car's history. I know what's been done to it. The car is all stock, and of course, I get to review this, and this thing happens to be a ridiculously good performance budget, okay? This car right here, on sale right now for a little over $36,000. The original MSRP was between $68,000 and $78,000 on this car, okay? This has a lot of options on it. So now, let's take a walk through on a lot of the features. So let's talk front end on the GLA 45 AMG. Start off with the headlights. Okay, these are projector beam bi-xenon headlights, meaning the high and low beams are going to be xenon HID headlights. You do have this beautiful dual LED turn signal look. It looks very nice. This car is optioned with the individual lit up emblem from Mercedes-Benz, so that's also really nice, especially at nighttime. And then of course this car is night black, and this does have the night package on there, so you see the black wheels and some of the black accents. It looks really nice. AMG badging that you would expect on this car for sure. And then you do have the front parking sensors there, and then this whole grille is actually open. The whole grille is open because you need a lot of air to feed that turbocharged 4-cylinder. So this car has a lot of openings there. Outside of that, nothing too crazy. This emblem actually feels really nice. It's not a painted emblem, it's an actual metal emblem, and it does have really nice texture on it. Really good quality, so I really like that. These air dams down here, they are actually functional. It's really hard to see on video, but there are little inlets behind this grille to allow for airflow out to the wheels, etc. So really nice. And then of course we can't forget the running light on this car. It just looks really nice all together. So let's talk about the rear of the GLA AMG. First thing you're going to notice is that huge AMG badge. You got to let everybody know what you're driving out here, okay? Secondly, you're going to notice the big Mercedes badge, GLA 45 on the side. Looks really nice. And then you do have this. It doesn't look like stainless steel, but it looks more so like chrome on the accent. It looks really nice here, and then the chrome on the back. Just really nice touches, because at the end of the day, it is also a luxury hatchback, so you do get that little essence of luxury. You do have a quad exhaust back here. It is actually blacked out rather, so with that night package there. And then of course you do have an LED taillight unit here, so nothing too crazy here. This is not the facelifted model, so but I still think this looks very modern by today's standards, so very well done. And then let's talk about the hatch. It is actually a power tailgate. So in the hatch, you're not going to find anything too crazy. It's pretty decent in size. I mean, you've got books here, you got a first aid kit, my jacket. Underneath here, you've got your Harman Kardon subwoofer, got a fix a flat kit essentially, so nothing too crazy there. A lot of space for what it is. You got a 12-volt power outlet and you have a pass-through, but outside of that, nothing crazy. So let's step into the GLA 45 and let's start by turning it on. Oh yeah, it actually sounds really good for a 4-cylinder. So you step inside. Of course, you got your infotainment screen there. Turn the volume down there. A lot of carbon fiber accents in this car, which I love. Carbon fiber is one of my favorite interior trims, and on a performance car like this, this is what you would expect, which looks really, really nice. So in addition to that, you do have the very well-known Mercedes gauges. You've got carbon fiber inlays in them, as you'd expect from an AMG model. You see this car has 31,000 miles. I mean, it was meticulously maintained. Take a look around the interior. Look at that. You got heated seats. You've got your auto start stop for the motor if you want to. An exhaust button, which is really nice. Heated seat over there for the passenger. Of course, you've got your navigation. You've got your telephone and everything like that. Okay, you see you got your dual zone climate controls if you want. Nothing too crazy here. Nothing worth mentioning. One thing I do like, attention to detail on the shifter. Look at that. The Mercedes Benz logo embossed there. The AMG logo rather. Looks fantastic and it feels amazing. This leather just feels very nice. You do have, of course, your drive mode select. So if you actually pull it up here, you get your individual, you're gonna have your comfort, you're gonna have your sport, and then you're gonna have your sport plus. So really cool, and I love it when car companies show the whole diagram up here. I think it just looks really, really nice. So let's talk my favorite interior item, mirror. It is auto dimming mirror. Nothing too crazy here. I mean, it's frameless to an extent, but looks really good. It's age appropriate. So, I mean, of course, this car is from 2016. So for 2016, this is actually really nice. So you got home link there, so you can connect your garage if you want to. And then, as you can tell, you do have a dual pane sunroof, as you'd expect in a car like this. Looks really nice. So good job, Benz. And then other things to make note of, this is probably the only hatchback you'll ever see with 200 mile an hour in the dash. So really cool there. Outside of that, nothing too crazy. You've got your parking brake release, you've got your automatic headlights, taillights, you've got your tailgate release there, and then of course the seating adjustments are going to be here on the door like most Mercedes-Benz models. You have memory seating, nothing too crazy there. So, and then you do have the knob here for the infotainment system if you so want to use it. Navi, you can see, not too age appropriate in terms of modernism. It is outdated, but it's still there, and it is kind of 3D, which looks pretty cool in a sense. I like it, but it's a LCD or LED display. So, and then one other thing I want to make note for this seat, look at that. Memory seating for the passenger. Very few cars at this level offer that. Mercedes-Benz does, and that is really cool. So very nice attention to detail there. So let's talk about the back seat. So stepping into the back seat, you are going to notice it is fairly tight back here. I mean, it is a smaller hatchback. You're not going to expect too much in terms of space. I'm 5'9". This seat is actually pretty far back, and I still have more than enough room here. These are also the Recaro seats, from what I was told from the previous owner, which was an option for this car. Yep, you can see the Recaro badging there. Looks really nice. So, and you have those pass-throughs, so if you want to actually put a racing harness there, you can. So with that being said, I have more than enough space here. So outside of that, there's nothing too crazy to talk about. You have vents back here. Of course, you've got your 12-volt power outlet, and then storage space. I'm not necessarily going to call that an ashtray, but you have that there. So, and then nothing too crazy. You got your oak crap handles, lighting there, and then your second pane of glass. So nothing crazy here. All right, so we are in the Mercedes Benz GLA 45 AMG. I'm just gonna say my first impressions of this car is that these seats hug you. And when I say hug you, I mean they hug you. And it feels really nice, actually. So the first thing that I get right off the bat, even though this is a performance car, it's still very, very excluded from the outside world. There's a lot of insulation. It's very quiet here on the inside, outside of the obvious engine noise that you can hear, but it feels like a nice place to be. I'm just driving through this parking lot here in the dealership to get out. Like I said, this car is 375 horsepower, 350 foot-pounds of torque. Like, just imagine that for a second. There's not a lot of cars that can say they put that much power from a 4-cylinder. Really can't. One thing I am noticing, steering feel in this car is absolutely amazing. I mean, it's got a good weight to it. The steering wheel is extremely thick in the best ways possible. Wow, that dual clutch, holy cow, it feels amazing. Holy cow. You don't even feel the shifts. Like, I'll go as far to say it almost feels like a CVT in the sense that it's so smooth and quick that it just feels like it's just one long gear. That's amazing. Holy cow. Absolutely amazing. And there's 7 gears to row through, which is even better. Let's see if I can put this in. There we go. Sport mode, which already I can hear a difference there. This is awesome. It's so cool. It shows the check engine light on the screen next to the word sport to let you know like it changes engine management. This is awesome. I love it. View around the car in terms of openness. I'm gonna adjust the rear view mirror a little bit. Yeah, pretty good visibility. I mean, not much to complain about there, to be honest. I can definitely feel the transmission feels different now that it's in sport mode. Holy cow, this thing's a rocket. This thing is so cool. I love hatchbacks. Not a lot of people know that, but I do. I had a 2015 Focus ST, and I love that car. It wasn't fast. It was quick at best, but that was fun. All right, let's give it some beans here. Wow. Car is just so ridiculously planted and smooth. You shift through the gears, instant, and all those pops and gurgles from the exhaust sound amazing. Holy cow, this thing is awesome. I will say the ride is definitely firm. The ride is definitely firm. So for longer road trips, I think you would suffice to say if you want a more performance-oriented grocery getter, I would say maybe like a GLC, AMG, or maybe a GLE, because this is definitely a very firm suspension. They definitely made this to be a track weapon for sure. Technically, all AMGs are supposed to be track weapons, but this one is definitely one that you would do some damage. That exhaust is just, holy cow. I love this thing. This is awesome. This is really fun. This is a hoot. This is a very fun car. I love these seats. Apparently, from what I was told from the previous owner, this is actually a rare option to have these Recaro seats put in from the factory, so I'm really happy that this example does have it, and it feels amazing. And the fact that they're also heated, so you can have that extra sense of comfort, amazing. I love it. And then everything in here just feels really nice, even though you do have some hard touch plastics, as this is one of their more economical models in their range. Everything still feels really nice. The leather is soft, It might be a synthetic leather. I'm not sure. Because of the AMG model, I would assume that's real leather, to be honest. But everything in here feels really, really nice. I definitely do like the visibility. It's a little small out the back just because of the hatch, but overall it's really nice. I mean, this car's got a lot of safety tech in terms of, you know, blind spot detection and things like that, so you don't really have to worry about that too much. But I mean, just make note of that. This car just sounds good. Everybody wants to make fun of 4-cylinders because the first thing you think of when you hear 4-cylinders, like a Honda Civic with a fart can on the back. No, this thing means business. It reminds me heavily of the Abarth 500 because those sound amazing. I wholeheartedly love the way those things sound. This sounds very reminiscent of that. It just sounds throaty. It sounds like it's packing a lot of muscle. And then when you hear the pop, you know this thing is a performance car. I love it. I absolutely love it. If I wanted a car this size and wanted performance, you could look at maybe a Ford Focus RS for cheaper, but you're going to sacrifice a little bit on performance and sound, if I must be frank, and honestly interior quality. But that's why there's a price difference. Outside of that, there's nothing to really compete with this. You know, there's the Golf R, which I guess could compete a tad bit. There's the RS3 hatchback overseas, but we don't get that here in America. We got the sedan, which is a somewhat close competitor in terms of size of vehicle, but it's not technically a hatchback. Want to go over a bump here, speed bump rather. See, you don't hear any creaks, any rattles. It sounds very well put together, as it should be. Since this car's stickered between 60 and 80 G's, you would expect it to have really good quality of materials. The transmission feel is really nice. As you'd expect from dual clutch, you do get that little bit of lag when you're first starting off in first gear. I do notice a little bit of that lag goes away in sport mode. Probably just transmission calibration, which is what you'd expect. Wow, somebody just completely cut somebody off. Man, that was a choice words. Move. Wasn't nice. Wow, this thing is just nuts. I love it. Do I have any complaints? I can't really give any complaints just based off the fact that I can't compare this car to a modern car just because this is a 2016. It's not a 2021. However, I know they have gone through infotainment changes since this, so I won't really dock it, but I will say the infotainment screen is very small. It is outdated. It's very pixelated. It's not high quality, but I'm sure they've rectified that recently. And it's a comfortable amount of power too. It's not too much power to where you can get in trouble necessarily, but you can definitely give it some beans and it'll treat you well without getting you in trouble. The steering feel in this car is pretty direct. It's not too direct. It's not like that SQ5 I reviewed. Granted, that's a brand new model. I mean, I'm sure I could review a 2016 and probably come out with similar drive feel. But this definitely has some good weight to it, and it feels really, really good. brake feel in this car is really good. It's very predictable. Feels a little bit better than most cars in this class that I have driven, whether it's a Focus RS, etc. Nothing really notable to speak of there. So, and then outside of that, there's really not much more to say about this interior. I do love panoramic sunroofs. I mean, if you want to call this a true panoramic or a split sunroof, moonroof, whatever, I like this a lot. It feels really nice. I like the fact, one small thing, I like the fact that the headliner is black. I don't know if they made different color headliners, but I like that this one is black. It just looks good, looks clean. I love it. Absolutely love it. Transmission just reacts instantaneously. And then it gets pretty quiet, not gonna lie. When you get to the higher gears, you know, the 4-cylinder just creeps down slowly, and it's actually pretty reasonable in terms of noise in here. Very well done, Mercedes. And for 31,000 miles, I mean, this car should last quite a while, you know, with minimal maintenance from what I was told. Guys, that is probably going to conclude my video here on the GLA 45 AMG. I hope you guys liked it. I mean, if there's anything that I need to work on, definitely give me some criticism. I can take it. I really want to better this channel, so if you could like the video, comment on whatever you want to do, and then definitely subscribe to the channel, because I've got a lot more cars lined up. I've got a lot of connections between a lot of different companies, and I would just love to just give my honest reviews of cars for the people. So without further ado, I'll see you on the next trip, and this is goodbye.